Hello, today I'm reading U.S. Economic Control of Mexico by the New Movement in Solidarity with the Mexican Revolution, and it was written in 1984. In 1848, a variety of factors made direct occupation of more than Mexico's northern half unfeasible. The U.S. government and businesses instituted a policy of domination of key industries, land, and resources, making Mexico a dependent capitalist state. Just as with Spain's colonial rule, the economic infrastructure was developed not according to Mexico's needs, but according to the needs of the United States investors. The Mexican dictator Diaz contracted United States firms in 1897 to build a railroad system. The resulting pattern of south to north tracks is a diagram of greed and the hemorrhaging of wealth flowing north to the U.S. A United States company built the first steel mill in Monterrey. Another started the first oil company in Mexico. Later, bought by Standard Oil, in 1897, U.S. investments in Mexico reached an astounding $200 million. By 1911, United States investment in Mexico exceeded that of local businessmen. That year, 14 to 20% of its land area was owned by foreigners, mostly U.S. citizens. Now, in 1984, Mexico owes United States banks, corporations, and international banking agencies about $90 billion. Nearly all of Mexico's oil is mortgaged to pay back interest alone on the huge debt to the United States banks. Much of the borrowed money was spent by the Mexican regime for oil drilling, refining, and shipping equipment, ports, and pipelines. Another large part was invested by wealthy Mexicans in homes, real estate, and business ventures in the United States. Extremely little has trickled down to benefit the millions of landless peasants, the unemployed, the half of the population that lacks sewage, running water, electricity, non-dirt floors, adequate footwear, or income over 25 cents per day. But they are the ones who are paying in exchange for refinancing Mexico's debt and extending new loans. The International Monetary Fund has further distorted the Mexican economy by imposing an austerity program. To meet the loan terms and meet its interest payments, the Mexican regime has devalued the peso against the dollar, triggering three-digit inflation, raised taxes, frozen wages, and slashed subsidies for the meager staples just barely keeping the Mexican masses alive. Poverty, disease, and discontent are soaring, but Mexico, its national output virtually mortgaged out to the United States, cannot meet those rising interest rates. $12 billion is needed this year alone, $25 billion in 1985. Many people contend that foreign investment is necessary and beneficial. Investments develop the economy, supply needed capital, create jobs, and spark the building of a solid economy foundation, they say. But United States corporations own or control 90% of car manufacture and sales, 72% of pharmaceuticals, 85% of rubber tires, 90% of investment in computer and office equipment, and most of 75% of food processing and sales. More and more essentials are produced and or imported by the United States companies. All this means that the labor and resources of Mexico are being turned into dollars for the U.S., except in banking. The foreign corporations do not even introduce capital. In recent years, 72% of U.S. investment was financed with private or public Mexican capital, and usually U.S. corporations buy up existing companies or facilities. In 1975 through 1976, a new direct foreign investment in Mexico totaled $594 million, while over $1.5 billion in profits, dividends, contracts, interest, and equity passed to foreign hands. That's capitalism, capitalizing off of others. The major United States companies and investors in Mexico include banks like Chase Manhattan, Continental Illinois, Bank America, Citibank, Morgan, Guaranty Trust. Manufacturers Hanover, and businesses include RCA, General Motors, Anderson, Clayton, Kraft, Del Monte, Nabisco, United Brands, Chrysler, Ford, ITT, John Deere, International Harvester, IBM, Sperry, Rand, NCR, Anaconda, Dow Chemical, Bethlehem Steel, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, General Foods, Goodyear, Firestone, Goodrich, Searle, Squibb, Lilly, Colgate, Hilton, and Denny's, etc. In the next part, we're going to be talking about history of U.S. immigration policies. I'll see you in the next one.